My sole purpose in this life is to heal. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason and nothing we go through is by accident. As I sit back and reflect on my own life, I know that I was meant to use my voice to help others for whatever reason can't quite use theirs. Let me be your voice. Let me be your voice when you feel nobody understands you. Let me be your voice when you feel no one else is listening. Let me be your voice when you feel ashamed for whatever reason. Let me be your voice when you can't quite speak. And let me be the voice that you hear as you grow with Ravy.
Yeah, man, is this too deep for the intro? If so, I'll find another use. But just in case it's perfect, let me introduce.
Welcome to Growing with Ravy. I have a special guest here that most of you all should know. We have AG, the Pharaoh.
What's good? What's good?
Period.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm so glad that you accepted my invitation.
Most definitely.
I was so nervous. Okay.
I feel you. That's a good thing. I'm excited though.
Yeah, I was super nervous. Like, it's snowing out. I'm about to go ahead and cancel.
I know. I was thinking of an
day.
excuse. I had a busy week, so I was like, man, it's supposed to be like -20, I think, next week. Some crazy shit. Yeah. I hate the cold.
Ready. So the interviews I have, I need to go ahead and reschedule.
Stack them motherfuckers up.
Period. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, for real.
So with the breakdown, I just want to know, like, how was your week? Well, you said it was busy, but how
it was really busy, but I feel like so accomplished. Like, I purposely made myself have a busy week, so I would just feel like really accomplished during the week. Like, I'm learning myself, and like at the end of the week, I need rewards and be able to look back and just know I got something accomplished.
Yeah.
So that little dopamine hit for me, it felt good. Now I feel like just motivated. Even though I'm tired, I feel really motivated to go through with the week. You know what I mean? I got back into the music bag.
Period.
Got back in the studio. So I just feel, and I got some, good feedback about what I've been working on. So I'm motivated.
Yeah.
So it was a really good week. Busy, but good.
Busy. And it's busy, but good and productive.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Being intentional about my time. So that's what I've been trying to like really make it a point every single day I wake up, that sometimes I have so much on my schedule that I'm just trying to be more intentional about what I give my energy to every single day. So I don't really have a lot of time to waste. So I'm trying to be more productive in the planning stages instead of like just letting life kind of come at me.
Yeah.
So that's been helping me out a lot. Just being able to attack, get shit done, move on to the next thing, and just making every day feel like it counts, and just feeling motivated at the end of everything, even when I'm tired.
Yeah.
That's the fuel.
It's crazy. I'm literally sitting over here smiling because I'm like, should I ask this question now or should I wait till later? But I believe because we're in the moment right now, I want to ask, like, what are some things that you do to kind of like keep you going, like to kind of keep you level-headed?
Writing.
Period.
Writing things on the list and being able to see myself cross it off. That gives me like the dopamine I need to know, okay. And sometimes I have so many ideas going through my head, to be able to look at everything on a piece of paper and like be able to say, okay, this just is going to be for Tuesday. This is going to be for Wednesday. This is going to be for Thursday or whatever. I'm able to break things every week. Like at the beginning of my week, like it doesn't even matter. It could just be something stressing me. It may be a conversation I need to have with somebody. I write it down on a piece of paper and I delegate it to a certain day of the week.
And so you a paper guy. You not
paper.
Not a phone. It's not going to be in your notes.
I like the, I don't know. It's just like the feeling. I don't get the same dopamine writing in my phone, and we do so much texting and emails. It's just something more personal from me. Like when I write, and even my memory, when I do music, when I can write something down in paper, when it comes to acting, like lines, being able to write it down, like repetition for me works that way, being able to like
write it.
Pad it. That's just me though.
I hate my handwriting. So for me, it's like
I'm like probably the only person who can actually even read my handwriting.
But oh my goodness, I don't like, my hands get tired eventually from writing, and so it will start off great. I'll start off writing perfectly, and then a few more sentences, just I'm like, I just don't care no more.
Same.
So it's easier for me. Like I have this iPad of of questions. Like instead of writing it down, because I'll eventually get irritated or whatever. let me go ahead and put this in my
I can
phone
dig
real
that. It would
quick.
probably like take me up a level and make me a little bit more organized.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I'm old school.
No,
and I'm
I
a creature.
like it, though.
I'm a creature of habit. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm always gonna be somebody who just pins the pad.
Exactly.
No
but I
matter
like
what.
that though. I'm gonna try, like, if it's something quick,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write it down. Like, I speak highly of like writing in my journals and stuff like that. But I do, like, if you look at my journal page, you like,
And I'm not saying I don't write something. I don't have like notes in my phone, but
Yeah.
I try to really like know myself. I pay
Yeah.
attention to the small things that keep me motivated. Like I keep kind of like going back to, and I
Yeah.
just realized, damn, it seems like I do better when I actually put that piece of paper on my desk and I can wake up and versus it just being lost in the sauce
right.
and all the
Right.
other text messages, DMs, and emails I get on my phone. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Lost in that little digital sea or the little digital abyss that's my phone, because I just got so much
much shit in
Yeah,
there.
I just look at my
So
pictures
much.
sometimes and go, God damn.
I'll be screenshotting shit, knowing I'm
Me
not gonna go back.
too.
Like, girl.
But it's just like I want to put it somewhere. I know what you mean. Like I want to have that
Yeah.
just in case I want to revisit that little moment or quote. But
Exactly.
damn, I went through my shit probably 2 days ago and I was just like, God damn, like this
It's-
ridiculous.
I probably got like 12,000 photos.
I don't know what I got. I know it's probably like in the 5,000. It's probably an insane number.
Too much.
I'm just into so many different things. It's so many times in the day. I'm like, oh, look at this fashion. Like, oh,
Exactly.
look at this art. Oh, look at this shot. Look at this
Exactly.
new movie coming out. Look at this new book. It's
And
just like,
You know, nowadays, like when people post like pictures and things like that, they have like them little quotes.
yes, I know exactly.
That's
Those
me.
get
I be
me.
addicted.
Those get me. They get
I'm like,
me
ooh, I'm
too.
gonna say this when next time.
But I've been actually trying to get like, even when I was talking about utilizing my day,
Mhm.
like I have Mondays where I try to go back and review stuff from my
Oh.
phone. Then I'm like, okay,
I
and
like
just kind
that.
of just like really pay attention, because I'm trying to like even watch my mental diet, which is like stuff we're always consuming. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to take days to reflect. Okay, like
Right.
if you took a screenshot of this at that moment, it must have been something important or it correlated or vibrated with you in some way. So I spend the day reviewing myself. Like what'd you look at? What was your mental diet
Right.
the week before? So I just try not to let that go to waste.
Come
Otherwise, that shit just
on.
builds. It's just like just in your phone. You know what I mean?
I love that.
So I dedicate some time to just like getting back to myself and not always consuming the food, by digesting it for real too.
Exactly.
Like a day to really digest what I took in. For
and you
'cause
said
it's so-
Mondays is typically that
Monday's
day
the day
you.
for me. Like
Yeah.
it's more of a like reflection day, but I'm also getting the plan. You know,
Yeah.
I'm getting the plan. Where Sunday is maybe a day I sit and I'm just in my thoughts. You know, I kind of
Sundays
sort
is
my
like-
feelings. I'm chilling.
Sundays is like rest,
Yes.
rest, self-care. I try not to schedule anything on Sundays. That's why
Same.
I think he was like, you want to do something? Nope.
I feel you. Yes.
I try not to. I do have a meeting tomorrow on Sunday, but it might get canceled typically
feel
because
you.
of the weather.
Mhm.
And then also, I'm not doing shit. That's
I
family
feel
days.
You. Yeah,
you know?
that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
It's just a personal self-worth, whatever that is. If it's family,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's playing video games all day,
Whatever.
you know, pouring up, listening to music, whatever that may entail for that time or however I feel. Yeah, that's usually what Sundays. Dedicated to. And just kind of chilling, sitting back, sorting out my thoughts,
Yeah.
thinking about my week, thinking about my emotions, just putting everything in place.
Preparing myself.
Preparing myself.
Yeah.
And then Monday, like I said, that's when I'm putting the pen to
Everything
the pad.
down.
Tuesday, I'm getting into action. Like
Yeah.
I'm starting to plan Tuesday.
I'm taking that advice. Typically, I give my guest homework assignments.
Mm-hmm.
That's my homework.
I can dig
It's
that.
like on Mondays, write down everything for the week because I have ADHD. You know?
Same.
Oh,
But it helps
period.
me doing it like where, okay, I'm just focused on this day. I'm not even worried about Tuesday. Monday.
Right.
Because otherwise it's like all these thoughts. And that's where my anxiety comes from. And just like learning myself, like my anxiety comes from just thinking I need to do this
That's me.
before I even got up. But when I can take 3 things, if it's 12 things and I put 3 things in each day in 4 days, all that's done. Versus worrying about one day looking at it. It's just chopping up that elephant, like, you know, like this piece is for that. Versus
I get
looking
in
at the
trouble
whole elephant.
all the
like,
time
damn.
like that. Like especially like in my relationship, it's like I fall short. Like I realize that I get overwhelmed when my house is fucked up,
Mhm.
and I don't be motivated to do it because I feel like I got to do everything on this day. But instead, like Raven, wash the dishes this day. I mean, you're going to be washing the dishes every day, especially if you cook a lot. Get that understood.
Yes.
But wash the dishes, the main dishes, this particular day. Go clean the bathroom this day.
Yes.
Like, fold these clothes on this day. You don't have to do everything all in one day.
Just focus on a room at a time. Like, that's what I do also.
Exactly.
I have a room for a day. Like,
yeah.
Sunday could be, or Saturday usually day for the kitchen.
Yeah.
Kitchen and bathroom is Saturday. You know
that's
what I mean?
I'm about to think.
So I'm just like, because I'm just like you, because people don't realize part of ADHD, it's not just your attention span, it's hyperfixation.
Yeah.
So you want to get everything done.
Exactly.
You put anxiety on yourself trying to get things done, but it's in your nature to want to get all of that
everything
done. Everything done right
exactly.
now. During a certain time frame. And nobody even put that restriction on you. You do it yourself and create anxiety. So I just started being like, I need to take pressure off myself.
Yeah. And I get overwhelmed. And typically, and lately I've been doing better with it, but typically when I get overwhelmed, I say fuck all this shit and I go to sleep.
Yes, that's how it is. That's what overwhelming does to you. It just makes you shut down. Yeah. You know, like a computer system when it overloads, you know,
exactly,
or something overheats, it usually shuts down. So I try to keep myself from that burnout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just taking that big ass meal and chopping it up into pieces, and then understanding that I have hyperfixation, being able to put things on certain plates. I can focus on that small thing for that particular time without getting overwhelmed versus hyperfixating on this entire thing.
This big project.
Because I'm going to hyperfixate. So it's like so knowing myself is even knowing my flaws. So I'm going to hyperfixate.
Right.
So if I chop it up in pieces, it mentally, I know, okay, so I don't see it as this huge thing.
Exactly.
My system ain't overloading. It's like, well, all you need to focus, all you have to do today is this.
Little at a time. That's a lot to do with like me, because in the sense of like projects, like I'll be having all the great, Mike had to tell me earlier, Raven, you got all the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But I struggle with completing those ideas because I feel like I have to get everything done right then and there. And it's like, Raven, you just got to take it step by step, day by day.
And karmic loops are so powerful when it's just like you overwhelmed, so you shut down, and then the problem gets bigger. So it's like now you have a smaller amount of time.
Yeah.
So the anxiety grows. It's like that demon in your closet. It's like you feed it, really. Like you creating it. And you're not meaning to it. I mean, like, you know, we're human, so you fall into some of that. But I mean, like, it just creates that karmic loop. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you have to step out that bubble and just go, I just have to learn.
I just got to do it.
this.
Yeah.
And that motivation, that dopamine you get from the release, it gives you the motivation you need to get to the other side.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? As you're doing it, but it's hard to get on that horse. But you know what I'm saying? But
once you get on it and you start feeling that, and you start feeling that dopamine, that energy to just keep going in that good vibes, like, damn, I just completed that, you know?
Real shit.
Then it will help you move forward to the next thing. Like, so the next project, I know what I got to do to get it finished and get it completed.
That's where God works. That's where God works, in the motion. Just getting there. You know what I mean? Like, you basically a wide receiver, and the quarterback, it just needs you to get there. But you worried about this. You worried about the weather. You worried about the coach. You worried about the general manager. How many jerseys, the fans, and But if you just get there, the quarterback got a nice arm on
zone. What is it? Zone in.
Zone in.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Get to the end zone. You know, you may not get the touchdown right there either, but you're getting yards.
But you're getting closer and closer to that.
So you know, damn. That's going to give you the motivation. Like, damn, I damn near got a touchdown. Like, okay.
It's
so
crazy
now that's
that you're using that analogy with a woman, and I'm understanding it.
I'm trying to break it down where it's real simple, though. You know what I mean? It ain't.
But some women are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
But
touchdown and all that.
You know what?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I watch sports a little bit.
Okay. You following me?
Yes. That was the breakdown. We're going to go ahead and move on over to the roll up. And at the roll up, I take 3 deep breaths. And I'm sure you know how to take deep breaths, but
Mhm.
breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth, and we can go ahead.
I
and
really
get
like
started.
this segment too.
You love to roll up?
That's dope.
Period. I
That's
like
dope.
that. 'Cause
Breathing is everything.
Mm.
Breathing is like the energy of the universe, that oxygen. It can just get you calm, get you focused.
Yes. And I want my guests to kind of like, I want us to be there together. Like, breathe. Like, honestly, the deep breaths help me shake off the nervousness.
Yep.
So,
yeah, it's powerful.
All right, let's get started by breathing in. Breathe in. One more, breathe in. That helped. That felt good. Really good. Okay, so I'm just going to get right into it. This is your pop your shit.
Let's do it.
Moment, okay? Tell me everything.
I've been drinking this Jack Daniel's Tennessee
I was like, what is in your cup?
Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey and lemonade.
Period. It's good.
My drink, it's so fucking fire.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it because the honey is so sweet, but with the lemonade, it's
perfect.
Perfect drink.
Perfect.
It's perfect drink.
I ain't drinking no more, but for all the people that are drinking, y'all, let me know if y'all tried it and how it tastes, okay?
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, pop your shit. I know you mentioned music. What else do you do?
I started really probably like making a name for myself doing music. And I moved into doing graphics, designing clothing, working on a short film.
Period.
Kind of got involved in the film community. Did videography, music videos.
Music videos?
Mm-hmm.
Period. For your music or just for others?
Just in general. For a while, I was doing it for just a little bit. Everybody right now, I've just kind of made that something I do for myself in my spare time. It's more so just something I do as a hobby right now. More so at a time I was doing it kind of as a job.
Yeah.
But my main focal point has really just been like my clothing line. And I design it, and also I'm the screen printer. So every part of the process of my clothing, I'm there for.
Yeah.
So this has also kind of helped me with doing like business consultation for other clothing brands, businesses, as in like helping people understand like what type of.
Someone here that needs you.
No, for real. I hear you. Real talk. We can do something.
Yeah.
Just like teaching people who their target audience is, so they're not, wasting time and energy, maybe fishing for people that ain't really, their vibe. Just learning like what type of fonts to use on your flyers. Just, just understanding what direction and just being intentional about your business, because you're spending all this money and time and effort into it.
Exactly.
So it's just like, that's something I've learned about, just watching how Google has connected everything, and then how you can get on Facebook and see ads for something that you Google searched. Because marketing back in the day, you would lose money to a degree. Just say you print out a bunch of flyers and you passing them out. You got to know a lot of them people you putting the flyers on the car, they throwing them away.
Yeah.
Where just say if you watching what people are searching on Google, if somebody has been looking for a used car, you can use your ad money to send that particular person a used car ad when they get into Facebook. So those ads have a higher percentage of actually hitting this target audience.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean about target audience. Like understanding if you do run Facebook ads or Instagram ads, understand who your demographic is. Just through the process of you releasing your podcast, realizing and paying attention to when you get feedback, or understanding what age range, what gender, what race you would typically say this group probably relates to my topics, who I am, more than anybody, and kind of maybe more so tailor them. Like when they say target audience, they literally mean when you aim, you're targeting that particular, that bullseye or person.
So if I was to put ads on like Facebook or Instagram, my target audience would be someone who puts in like therapy.
Yes.
Or healing or journals, like things like that.
Yeah. Yes. And also people that you may not even think of, that may not even be in your field, but they just may be entertained. They may be in a whole different field, but what you talk about, what you're about entertains them. Or they maybe just oddly have an interest in something they may not particularly, be a part of. But just paying attention to those people too. It, like, as a rapper, you're not just trying to target other rappers. The demographic is wide. It's single mothers, it's teenagers, it's all this different sea of people. And that also understanding that's the part of target audience I think takes the actual legwork and being observant about, when you get likes on when you drop a podcast and you get likes on that certain post, look through the likes and see like, okay, damn, try to make a mental note.
See
not, not just on some clout shit, but like, what's these people's age range?
Right.
Is it mostly women? Is it mostly men? And over the course of 10 posts, you can start looking and seeing, okay, this demographic fucks with me heavy.
Right. So, I know for a fact I get the women. I know I get the women. Hell, my aunt literally, she's 50 something, 60, and she's like, I listen to your podcast and I learn from it.
That is very
So she was like, it doesn't matter what age group, like, she's like, when you posted that on Facebook that you was back, I went to go look to see, like, I was like, I haven't actually dropped the episode. But she was like, I sit there and I listen and I learn so much from your podcast. I'm like, period.
So
I want
dope.
it to be all ages. I want it to be both men and women. I want it to be teenagers. That's why I'm trying to get everybody's gonna be on this thing. Like, I want to be able to help other people because people are in different walks and I want them to be able to learn from anyone who on this damn podcast. Like, you can learn from, I don't care if it's a kid on here. You can learn.
People love that. You know what I mean? And I think the best and the most timeless material has the widest demographic. Like, when you look at those old school Disney movies like Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, these ain't movies with R ratings. The general movies is making the most money.
Right.
They're movies that your whole family can go see.
Right.
Not just mom and dad.
Exactly.
Not just little sis. Not just little bro.
Exactly.
The movies that the whole family can go see, that where it just includes that wider range of the demographics. Those are the movies that kind of like, stick with us, or we consider timeless classics.
Exactly.
The Home Alones and Toy Stories.
Charlie. I want to watch Home Alone.
All that,
Like, yes.
That's dope.
Put you on, sis.
That's dope.
You feel me? Like, I like stuff like that. And so I think that's kind of like what I want. I mean, not kind of. That is what I want with the podcast. Like, I want people to, it's timeless. You can go listen to this 2 years, 4 years.
Real shit. Exclusivity is dope too, though. Don't get me wrong. It's a balance, though.
Yeah.
Because creating maybe certain episodes where this is just for this group.
Particular,
maybe this group is they sneakerhead. So it's a Jordan drop coming in this episode. Just, you know what I mean? It's dope. Exclusivity is dope too, and that pays off too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But just being able to know when and where to do it.
Yep.
That's like key. Like, I think that's really dope.
So getting back to all the things that you do, music, clothing, film, marketing, all of that. What would you say is your favorite?
That
or
is
do you have a fave?
Up until, I ain't gonna lie. Like, up until last week, I probably was.
Damn, last week?
Up until, I swear, I just said this morning because I just been getting back into the studio. I was like, damn, I don't think nothing gives me the feeling music does.
Period.
I don't think nothing does.
Period. Because
to create
are you
a song,
able to express yourself?
Just, you're able to, it's such a, like, film, I get close to the same vibe because it's like you artistically able to put your opinions in your art in ways that aren't necessarily offensive. That may sound offensive coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
But with music, it's just like just like the aspect of performing.
Yeah.
Like you created these bops out your head.
Period.
And then you're watching people vibe to it. Or you're watching people like decipher the lyric or like seeing it live.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like just say you make a movie, you release it. You're not sitting there doing, you can't see everyone's reaction.
Exactly.
They first time they see your film or the first time they
tell
see a
you,
logo.
but
They can tell you later. So it's like, it's a very, like all the other forms of art form are very back end where you may like a design, but I may drop the design today. I may not see you till next week and you let me know, hey, that shirt you dropped.
I fucks with it.
Yeah, I fuck with that design.
But I couldn't see your initial reaction.
I couldn't see your, like to create a song in the studio, you sat there and made that it's just between you and your engineer and you released this song in front of this group of people who's never heard this song before and you kind of waiting on the reaction and in real time right there, you seeing people go like, damn, I fuck with this.
Right.
Every once in a while it's gonna be some shit where they may not necessarily fuck with it either. But that's the beauty of it.
Motivates you.
It motivates you to go, damn, maybe that's not my pocket. For my fan, that don't connect me to my fans. And then, but to make something and you just see them bopping and reciting the lyrics back to you and coming up like, hey, what's your SoundCloud? What's your Spotify? What's your, like, there's nothing like that to me. And I just like probably realized, I think I may have realized it before, but I probably just forgot just doing other shit. Because art is so beautiful. It really came back and I just said, damn, this really motivated me to do all the other shit I was doing. That's why I was able to go so hard in the beginning. It's just that energy you get from music when people are like so focused on you and you standing on the stage and it's addicting too. Yeah. That shit can be like, you get a real high.
I used to model back in the day, let me just say, okay? And I love the reaction. So I get it. What I'm about to say is I get it. I understand because once I hit the stage, like it's just screaming and just yelling. And I'm just like, like I was excited. And so people like would always ask me like, would you rather be runway or like photography? And I will always say runway because of that energy that I would get from the crowd, And I like that will give me motivation like to go out every single time and do my best shit every single time. So I get it. But I also wanted to say this. Off subject as fuck. But why are we matching? Gray shirts, black pants.
Oh shit, great minds think alike. That's why.
Because I went home. I told you I went home and changed, but I had on a gray hoodie.
Oh damn.
You feel me? Period.
And I done left the merch. It just been such a long.
I had a long week.
I was just so focused on making sure I was on time and you know what I mean, and head in the right mental space. Yeah. Just kind of blacked out on everything else.
It's cool.
But I
don't feel no way. You feel me? We talked about this a few months ago. But I don't feel no way. I'm definitely, when I get it, I'm going to rock it and I'm going to support you full circle. But to go back, I'm sorry, I had to say we was matching.
Oh, you good. Okay? Nah.
But to go back, so you would say music is your favorite.
Yeah, I really was like, yeah. This week, I said, yeah. Just even being in the whole fucking process of being in the studio, having an idea in your head and then you record it. There's times you have ideas in your head and you record it and it's like, man, when you make some shit, even you can literally just rock out to your own shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And vibe
to it. And especially if, like, not to brag, I feel like I have a really good ear. So even with myself, I feel like I'm really crucial and hard on myself. And I can tell when, like, okay, I kind of knocked this one out the park. Right. Versus like, okay, this one's cool, or I don't feel like this one represents me, or, it could be out any type of reason where you may not vibe with your own art, but it's nothing like hearing that shit back in the studio for the first time. You like, damn.
So did you record some songs or a song?
I recorded probably 6 songs.
Period. This week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But had you already wrote them, or this was?
That was another beautiful thing about this particular studio session. I do a lot of different stuff. Mm-hmm. Like when I go in, like this was just to fill out the songs.
Oh, see how you felt about it.
I didn't really have much wrote down. Yeah. Really didn't have anything wrote. I had like maybe a few little chicken scratches or little like maybe the name of the song or the concept. but more so just had like the hooks and the cadences and what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And just like everything with every single one I did
fresh.
this time, I really loved, and that felt good. Because it's been times where I went, and it's like, that's not a bad thing, but it's just been songs and I'm like, I don't want that one.
I ain't really rocking.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It didn't come out how I wanted, or that maybe don't really fit me or my voice, or maybe I can't really hit that note like I thought I could in my head.
Hey, if you need a singer, honey, you know I used to sing back in the day. I can do a little something. Okay, I just want to do a little high. That's it. I don't want to do too much. You know, I can't go too high. I can just be right in the middle.
I listen to a lot of Erykah Badu. Just
period.
I listen to singers that make me feel like I can sing.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Motherfuckers that just stay right in that little pocket.
Exactly.
I just be trying to stay right there.
I don't want to do too much.
I can't do no Whitney. No Whitney,
Jennifer,
Mariah.
I ain't fucking with it.
I can't fuck with that.
I don't even like Jennifer as a music artist. And you know,
I respect her voice though, but I feel what you're saying.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
I don't like all that.
What was that? What was that girl's name? She made Lions and Tigers and Bears.
Jennifer. No, that's not Jennifer. Jasmine Sullivan.
My bad. Damn, I'm
Fuck
so
with
sorry.
Jasmine though.
Jasmine Sullivan. I fucking love her voice and her music.
Fuck with Jasmine.
I wish she would make more music.
Yes.
Her shit was hard.
Maybe she'll listen. Maybe she'll listen to this.
Trap. Maybe she will. It was like trap, but it was soulful as fuck. The beats was good. Like, I love good production.
Yeah.
Like, them beats was hard.
Yes. Well, that is it for the roll-up. We're going to go ahead and move on over to the session. Warning. You are now entering into a safe space with Raby Bay. Please feel free to grab your trees, your pen and notebook, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And this is where we get real deep, okay?
Okay.
I'm about to start asking you some questions. You put on the form that ain't nothing off limits.
On my mama, I did.
All right. So we're gonna start easy.
Okay.
How did we meet? Do you remember?
I have no. That is so bad. I have no fucking clue. It might have been was it at Janessa's crib?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back then, but I was.
Was it like a kickback or some shit we was at?
I have no. The crazy thing about it is, I'm up here telling you all, and I have no fucking idea. I just know that I feel like I seen you a lot, like with Janessa, and like she's like, this my homie AG and Berto, and I was like, oh okay, what's up, and I.
That's my nigga. Shout out Janessa.
Period. Come on, Janessa, the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, oh, just it was always high and by. We've never sat down and actually talked like this. So
I know
this is the first. I was nervous about that because I was like, damn, what am I gonna say?
It's all love, shit.
Yeah,
it's all love. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be so fucking high in my 20s. Period. I really can't remember how I met nobody on the scene, the scene shit.
Yeah,
and that could be like music or podcast shit, parties. I have no fuck. I know I got love for motherfuckers, and I know we Facebook friends and if I'm like, I do not even. I swear, probably like 75%. If they was to ask me like, bro, where was the first show we did, or I'm like, damn, I know I was probably high than a bitch. So
I know that's all we did was smoke,
man.
Because
and I was doing a whole lot of other shit too. Goddamn it. But yeah, I was smoking my motherfucking ass. Yeah, all we did was smoke. That was that was just a mandatory. Yeah. That wasn't even. I was gonna be high off them blunts.
Right.
So shit, man.
I didn't remember either, but I was like, let me ask him and see if he remembers.
I
have no idea.
But I do believe it was most likely, at Janessa's house. She's been my gateway to a lot of different great and dope people at her crib because there's so many people coming in and out. It's it's like the Hey Arnold house.
Exactly.
Remember that motherfucker?
Yeah, Hey Arnold.
It was like the boarding house. You just be walking down the hallway and they run into some interesting motherfucker with a story. Be crazy.
Yeah. I'm interested in understanding how first off, I know that you spoke to me about it. I don't know if I'm sure you feel comfortable with it, but I'm interested in understanding how your upbringing has shaped the person you are today.
Everything. So, like, I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and it was crazy. Like 2 weeks ago, the Cat William interview dropped, Cat Williams is a Virgo like me. I'm a Virgo.
Period.
And
like my
he
daughter.
was talking about that's what's up.
When your birthday?
August 27th.
That's all of y'all.
Oh yeah, on my mama. Yep.
That's my daughter's birthday.
Yeah, on my mama. My sister is born on the same fucking day as me. We're 8 years apart.
Wow.
Exactly.
Come on, Virgo energy.
Big
I didn't even really fuck with y'all until I knew
Virgo
some Virgos.
energy.
You feel me?
I feel like we come off very like arrogant. We come off I
don't get
wrong,
that.
But I don't know.
Maybe
I feel like
because
I'm
an Aries.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm an Aries and I'm bold and arrogant and all that. So I can relate.
So you can relate to that. It's just confidence, though. Really, you know, it's just like life be hard for the Virgo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta just get a tough. We got a tough skin about how we move. We just
y'all get shit done.
We get shit done.
That's what I love. That's why I cannot wait until my daughter gets older because I know she gonna get.
You already
shit done.
know what's going on.
She gonna handle it. Like she ain't gonna forget either.
No, she's on it. It's like we take it damn near like it's our mission. Like that's our. We get focused on shit in life. Because we understand early what gives us a high and what keeps us happy and motivated is getting things off the plate. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all good people. Like y'all do anything for the ones that y'all love.
Anything,
like y'all will,
like for real.
Y'all will break y'all back. Cause I have a friend. It's crazy because I was pregnant. She had her kid a month before me, and I'm like, "Happy birthday, bitch! What if I have Charlie the same day as you? I mean, same day as your birthday." And she was like, "Damn, what if?" Because I had a ultrasound appointment on her birthday. And she's like, "Damn, what if you do?" I said, "Yeah, what if I do?" A couple of hours later, end up having to go to Charlie, go to the hospital. After my appointment, they like, "We need to get you an emergency. You need to get this baby out."
It was meant to be.
Period. So shout out to the Virgos.
Big
I
Virgo
love y'all.
Energy.
I love y'all.
I just think great people Virgos. You know what I'm saying? Like, Michael Jackson's a Virgo.
Beyonce, if everybody likes Beyonce.
Me and Beyonce, we not only Virgos, her moon is in Scorpio and my moon's in Scorpio.
Period.
So it's just like, damn.
I don't even know nothing about all of that. I be trying to get deep with it.
It's just more so like the day we were born, the moon happened to be in a certain area. But me and her, the moon and on our birthdays, me and Beyonce, her moon just happened to be in the same place mine was on my birthday. And the sun happened to be in the same, which is kind of rare, I think.
That's
just interesting to me. And even with like Michael Jackson and Cat Williams, they both Virgos, but they both grew up Jehovah's Witnesses. Donald Glover grew up a Jehovah's Witness. So like these are people that I really, aside from even knowing some of that about them previously, I just thought they were very genius in the way they approach satire, how they thought, how they were always their own people. They were always so different. They thought out the box. And like you asked me earlier, how did, my upbringing as a Jehovah's Witness affect me? It affected everything. It just kind of made me a lone wolf where I can think for myself.
Yeah.
It's made me like a very critical thinker, very observant, where I can just kind of analyze a situation by just looking at it. You know what I'm saying? And kind of really having the imagination to put myself in the shoes of anybody and anything in any scenario.
Yeah.
So it just kind of feel like it gives me like a sixth sense where I really feel for people and I really feel scenarios and feel situations and think things and situations through at a length that other people don't. Like I can really imagine myself in places and going through and walking through people's shoes. So I feel like sometimes it kind of gives me, like I said, that sixth sense. Where it's situations that may arise and I just get a feeling about things before it even manifests itself.
Yeah.
And it just comes from kind of being a fly on the wall emotionally in all types of different situations and kind of being able to put the equation together, like the algebra, the X and Y and the equals Z. I think Virgos are really good at that.
Yeah.
Those algebraic equations of life where it's like, this type of person and this type of person just don't mix. It's going to create this type of very early and able to see where things are going to lead. And I think that's why we get things done so easily because we able to easily think on our feet, analyze the situation, get it done, get that dopamine rush, get ready for the next.
Exactly.
It just gives us like an uncanny, like constant energy to move on to the next thing. You know what I mean?
I'm glad to hear that, in the sense, like, I'm just thinking about, like, okay, how to raise my daughter to let her understand, like,
Yes.
you're
That's dope you thinking like that.
Yeah.
You have the emotional intelligence to care enough about her to go, how do I need to raise this particular child? That's dope.
Because, like, even for me, like, I know that I need that emotional support, you know, a lot or whatever. So I always tell my daughter, like, my friend Morgan she went to go get a reading done.
Mm-hmm.
But the person was reading my daughter was sitting
same
on
Morgan.
Her. Yeah.
I know. Oh, what's up, Morgan?
Hey, Mohin, baby.
She's dope.
She went to go get a reading done, and she took, you know, Charlie with her.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's on the phone, not really, you know, paying attention. But the person started reading my daughter and was like, you need to make sure, like, you always tell her that you love her. Like, she has a good spirit. Like, you know, like, I'm just trying to understand, like, more of Virgos so that I can know how to kind of like help her not see certain things as a fault, you know?
Yes. And that's all it is about, really understanding your faults where you can weaponize them.
Yeah.
You know, and just understanding certain things are going to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
weaknesses.
Like, if you know the wind's gonna blow, maybe that's the day you need to set sail and open your sails up.
Exactly.
And just, you know what I'm saying? You know the wind's gonna carry you. So just understanding that there's variables, like when I was talking about algebra, variables that are fixed, you can't do anything about. But understanding where you fit in that puzzle. Yeah. First, understanding the puzzle. Then understanding yourself enough to say, well, I will fit good right there.
In this one,
And just, you know, and knowing what you're not good at.
Exactly.
You know your vices. You know, it's good to fight them and always strive for better. But there's certain things you got to just also not lie to yourself, be honest.
Right.
But Virgos are good with being honest, I feel like. And even to ourselves. They go, man, I got an issue with this. So I ain't even go over there with that girl because I already know, goddamn it.
I already
ain't
know.
Nothing good gonna come, so I ain't even gonna go over there. You know, not today, mate. I ain't going over there today. Maybe tomorrow, but I need to get this, that, and the third done and knowing myself enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or hey, I can't hang with bro no more because them niggas.
He ain't, and that's a good thing. And that's a lot of, like, most men, I feel like it's more so like I feel like if you're not in tune with yourself and you really don't know who you are, most men feel like, oh, these my bros, I've been hanging. You gotta pay attention to the energy.
Here's some crazy ass, deep, wild shit. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I was molested. That shit, it sounds crazy. In my adult years as a man, it really helped me learn emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Janessa tell you this, like, she was probably one of the first people I told this happened to me because it's just like your mind is so powerful. It'll block things off.
My God.
You would be 25 and just realize, like, you know, you will start going through therapy and things and vaults will unlock and you will start putting scenarios. You know, you will start being able to let the walls down and things will bleed through and thoughts and you will start remembering what led you to the path and to the trauma that you're on now. And it's like, damn, you know, like you just start to learn like the root cause. I call it like going back and finding where the kink in the chain was. You know what I'm saying? And once you find it, like that has an issue with my relationships with women, men, everything, friendships. I didn't have many male friends. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
You know, not even be able to tell my homies I love you. Just weird shit. It just felt weird in my spirit. It was things I needed to unlock.
Yeah.
Where once I did, and once I realized, like, even being open enough, how many other black men was going through, not just black men, but men in general. But weren't saying shit.
Yeah.
And they had this blockage and it was affecting all the relationships in their life. Business, personal. And I got power from just being able to be like, damn, we can be emotionally intelligent. You know, we can understand where our traumas come from and it makes us so powerful. Like, it was so freeing for me.
Yeah.
In every aspect of my life.
Most people don't, not even just, you know, that situation, but especially black men. And that's the reason why I felt like it was very important to get black men on this podcast. Yeah. Because I want to hear things like that. You know, I know shit, damn near every black man has some type of story of something similar, like where they were molested, or where they a older woman, forced themselves on them at a younger age, and they look at it like, oh, it's nothing wrong with it. Like, oh, but no, that's not right. That is
the
not
way
good.
we socially group things is really detrimental to men and women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like nobody really gets the help they need in certain situations, because every criminal knows how to pimp the system.
Yeah.
If you a promiscuous woman who likes messing with men that are underage, you're going to get away with it.
Exactly.
Ain't no nigga going to tell, ain't no 16-year-old boy going to turn down some pussy from a 34-year-old woman. Like, it's not, and you know that, you know what I'm saying? And like, molestation sometimes feels good. It comes from people you trust, you care about, so it can be confusing.
Exactly.
So it's just, it's a confusing thing, but it's just like, we always have to go back and review just these social norms we put in place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they got to be changed.
And that's what I was going to ask you, like, in the sense of, first off, I didn't know that until you just said it. Mm-hmm. But the question is, what advice? Because, like you said, most people, you could be sitting in a damn room with someone, you having this conversation, or they're hearing this podcast, and they're like, damn, I went through the same thing secretly in their head. Yeah. So what is some things, some people don't feel comfortable with coming out with it. So what is something that what advice would you give them to be able to free themselves from that?
Find someone, even if it's in confidentiality. You ain't got to make an announcement on no public platforms. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell your mama, it can be your therapist. Yeah. Or it can be the pastor, your coach, anybody in confidentiality, if that's what you feel like. Just somebody you can trust, because you just got to let it out. Yeah. Like you can't let that stuff build up.
Because it's hindering you, stopping you from being your best self, because you got this in the back of your fucking mind. Yes. In your head, and you're just like, it needs to go somewhere.
It gotta go.
It cannot stay inside.
No, it can't. It's not good for your mental or physical health. Yeah. And it's just so freeing to like, just let that off your chest. Yeah. Because it's like self-awareness is so powerful. Like, that's where, like taxonomy, where we group things and we put them in hierarchy. Being able to label something is powerful, because now you understand what you're dealing with. Yeah. Like, okay, now I know why I was, like, sometimes you literally do not know why you react to stuff a certain way, why your body reacts, and you just like, man, so-and-so gives me a vibe. But being able to go, oh, okay,
place
that's
it there,
why. Boom.
And leave it there.
And leave it there now. Now it has a name to it. It has a face to it. Yeah. So when it arises, you don't have to go through the motion of you're going through enough motions already. Exactly. But you don't have to go through the wall of confusion. You've got that out the way at least.
Now it's like you organizing it and putting it where it's supposed to be, like certain things that you go through. Oh, okay, this is why I think like this. Let me put that there. Yep. So that way it won't trigger you.
It won't.
Anymore. Like, it's like, oh, okay, I recognize it. I realize this is why I feel this way. Now, if something happens in this sense, I won't feel negatively about it, because I've already addressed it and I've already placed it.
It just say your purse come up missing right tonight, and you like, the first thing you want to know, who the fuck took my purse? Right. Who in this motherfucker? It ain't necessarily just that it's gone. Right. I want to see the motherfucker's face in my head. Like, I need to know, like, officer, I need to know who fuck
did this shit.
Yeah.
And like, then come to find out, you done left that motherfucker purse in your car.
That could be it.
Damn, I done left, my bad.
But see, that feel good to know, oh, okay, the face is nobody. Right. But at least you know what I'm saying, the culprit, because that's the first, any type of wrong or anything that fucks up your emotions, the first thing you want to do is put a label on that motherfucker and go, who, like, all right. Exactly. Now I know. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker got sticky fingers. Or
exactly.
Like, at least you know that. Careful. I got to be careful. That's all.
Let me go ahead and make sure I clutch it a little different.
Who the fuck in here? Just that uncertainty itself is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what are some things that you've learned and you appreciated about your upbringing, about being raised in?
It made me so disciplined. And I do feel like Jehovah's Witnesses sometimes, it ain't all bad. I don't want to come on here and just make it seem like it's
is bad.
It's all evil. It's all bad. They all fucked up. And I feel like people do that too. I'm not a generalizing ass motherfucker. It's some people in that organization that are some beautiful people that care so much about genuinely helping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just like with any organization.
Yeah.
So, but these people really gave me a sense of what the Bible. I can paraphrase the Bible. I read the Bible by the time I was 15.
The whole Bible?
The entire Bible.
Period.
The Old Testament and the New Testament.
Yes.
Read the Torah. And it just made me like it really gave me faith to understand that there's something bigger than me, regardless of what I want to call him or her.
Yeah.
To know that there, just like gravity exists, regardless if I want to acknowledge it or not.
Exactly.
To know that there's, once again, fixed forces in nature and things that exist way greater than I am.
Yeah.
You know, it just gives you something to strive for and something to lean on.
Yeah.
Just having a greater understanding of things. It made me very curious. And it just gave me like an appetite for knowledge.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't have, like everything got to be developed.
Everything.
So the fact that was developed young, I can read, I'm 34, I can read books. A lot of my niggas don't read books, but I'm disciplined enough to be like, I can read a book and I can actually tell you, I can paraphrase what I can digest information. And isn't just,
I'm not just reading it, not
words.
to understand it.
I didn't just recite the words.
Yeah.
And I can't just regurgitate, but I can look at things and have, like, a real scholar to me is somebody who comes up with new insights on the situation. It ain't just I'm regurgitating something somebody else put in on pages.
Exactly.
It's not just like the Gettysburg Address where you reciting the words.
Exactly.
But it's like you look at something, you able to take all your experiences and like get your own perspective on it and get your own, you know, what it means for you, because this ain't a one size fit all thing.
Exactly.
It's not that type of life. So being able to be like, that's what that means for me. That's the lesson I need to get out of that. That's what it taught me.
So I do want to ask on that, do you feel first of all, do you feel comfortable with talking about your beliefs in it? So because you were raised as a Jehovah Witness, like what are your current beliefs?
Well, like Jehovah's Witnesses, they have this thing called disfellowshipment, where if you don't go along with the religion, your family kind of cuts you off. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So when I was 20, I got someone pregnant as a Jehovah's Witness. I was baptized as a Jehovah's Witness when I was 15. By the time I was probably like 16, it was a lot of things about the religion I wasn't agreeing with, because I was doing things that was kind of against the religion, like studying other religions. I was studying Islam. I was reading a lot about Egyptology, and you know, something that really jogged that was that Michael Jackson Remember the Time video. And
I knew you was about to say
and
that.
I just thought about, like, you know, once again, Michael Jackson's a Virgo.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson grew up a Jehovah's Witness. So I kind of had like a, you know what I mean?
We can relate. Like,
not just a fan. I know everybody's like, I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, but I'm like, it's just like,
relatable.
I feel like I can see through his eyes, like, because we had the same experiences. So like, I felt like he was really trying to say something.
Oh, yeah.
So I've just like got to researching things, and I'm, you know, a part of these religions where I'm opening these books and all I see is white people. These stories, I'm listening to the stories, but I'm not really like gravitating to them, because even though I really figure out later on these people are like me and they did have my complexion, and a lot of this was happening in Africa. I'm looking at these books, but I'm a kid. All I see is white people in these books. So it seems like a far removed story.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to like have my own, you know, faith with God. But it just seems like I don't never see myself in none of the stories.
Yeah.
Really. So like, just me kind of researching so many. I'm just such an open-minded person.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading like the Jewish Kabbalah and the Torah and the Talmud and the Islamic Quran and the, you know, the Christian Bible, and I'm looking at all these different.
That you had that opportunity to kind of like, not even opportunity, that mindset to say like, I'm going to study every last one of them.
It's truth in everything.
Yes.
But like when you buy a house, you don't just go to the first house.
Right.
You go through, you looking at you're comparing. So it's just crazy when you look at something like a lot of the wars that are started, like when you look at what's going on over in Israel, a lot of these have a lot to do with biblical prophecy and religious fanatics and religious wars, holy wars.
Yeah.
They go back to people's faith. So it's just like, it would just make sense that we would all kind of study each other's, background
because isn't it
to
like
understand
we're all
and compare.
kind of saying the same
Basically, yes.
Like, and that's
what you learn when you read all of this. You see it in a totally different perspective.
Yeah.
Right? Say there's a movie, there's a trilogy. Most people only see one movie out the trilogy. This group seen the first movie, this group seen the second movie, and this group seen the finale. But it's like, why didn't they just all sit out and watch the trilogy together? And they can kind of discuss, you know what I'm saying? They would have more. Yeah. They'd have way more in common.
We can have way more in common, and then we can have understanding to each other.
Understanding of why this person believes this. Like, okay, that's why they're fighting. Yeah. That's why this group don't want this group in.
But it can also stop that.
It can also easily
because
stop.
What are we fighting for? We all want the same shit.
We all want the same thing.
We all want the same thing.
But it's just like more divide and conquer stuff. So that's really what it taught me. Be open-minded. See everybody's perspective.
So you wouldn't say, oh, I'm a Christian, or
I wouldn't say I'm a Muslim. I do definitely believe in there's a higher power.
Yeah.
That's a higher source. It's just like, just realizing, like, even through slavery, how many of these religions have been weaponized to hurt people?
Yeah.
God is going to be God the entire time. He doesn't change. But you just realize a lot of these languages, terms, names, people are leaning on their own perspective.
Right.
Even when it comes to pronunciation of names.
Because them names in that Bible, honey.
Man, it's a lot.
I'll be like, huh?
And every group got their own, every group has their own argument of why they believe it's a certain name. Yeah. So I do respect all the names, the meaning. Like, we go, like, this nigga told you my government name was Dennis, but I go by AG, I go by Pharaoh, go by many names. But it's just about understanding what you believe in and what you're praying to. Like that energy, not necessarily the name. Whichever name works for you best or you resonate with, that's beautiful. Right. But just realizing, like, just once again, it helped me kind of see the bigger picture of things. So I can't really necessarily say one over the other, but I respect them all. I think it's like a trinity. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody would pick the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit, one over the other, but just respecting all three of them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things just come as a trinity. The Father, the Son, the Mother, the masculine, the feminine, the child. And understanding that energy at its root source, we come up with a lot of names. Like, look at the movie Hercules. You got Zeus, Hercules, and Hades, which in the Christian pantheon is God or Jehovah, Jesus, Satan.
Exactly.
You look at the Greeks got
come on, educate us, okay?
So like you watch the movie Thor, you got Woden, you've got Thor, and you've got Loki. Loki's a kind of a representation of the trickster god or Lucifer. So you got that trinity. It's always kind of like the same story. You look at Hercules, he's sent out from heaven to become a human. Thor got the same similar story. You got to get it. He gets his hammer taken from him. He has to show he's got a good heart. He's restored and gets to come back. Jesus got the same redemption. Well, it's all just kind of the same. It's kind of the same type of, the Father, Son, and then you got the son, the devil, the rebellious son, and they all, you know what I'm saying, going through a redemption story.
But isn't that kind of like similar to like our lives today? Like if you have multiple kids and things like that, like
everything's an archetype, even in movies. The hero, the damsel, the fool, so it's all just about, life is really like a play. Like what's his name? I can't even think. What's the famous Shakespeare? Said life is basically a play. We all just actors. We just we wear different hats.
Yeah.
You podcaster, you mom, business lady, like
Period.
you gotta know, okay, today this is the hat I'm wearing, this is the role.
Right.
So it's just,
some days you're gonna have to play all roles in the day.
all
feel me?
roles in the day. But
Yeah.
that's what a good actor is, you know what I mean? And that's all if you look at it in that perspective, it's a beautiful life, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We are being able to operate and choose, this is the vessel I'm gonna be today.
Right.
This is where I'm going today. That's dope.
I appreciate that for you breaking it down in that aspect, because I've never really looked at it like that. I've never studied other religions, but I do understand like everybody is pretty much saying the same exact thing.
Very much so.
I'm just, I choose what I choose, but I don't judge nobody else for what they chose. And, and I feel like
and they
that's
all necessary. Like, I love everybody who chose and they can stand on something. That's it's just when it creates so much conflict in the world, that's where I'll step in and say, man, I wish people could understand more and would maybe study more.
Exactly.
The ones that want to attack the next person for what they believe.
Yeah.
Maybe they find some empathy in just saying, damn, we really just want the same. We want to all be happy.
We all want the same thing.
Yeah,
we
I
all
don't want no bombs dropping on my kids. I don't want to starve.
Yeah.
I don't want to live a life of violence.
Yeah.
I'd like to eat good meals.
Exactly.
Like, let's just strive for that. It's simple, but it's not. But you know what I'm saying. So that lets you know there's forces working overtime. Because it's all simple.
Yeah.
We all want the same. It's not hard. It's a simple equation. But it's like that lets you know when it's that simple, that lets you know something else is at play.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's real and it's something bigger than you happening. You just can't see all the time. But it's like, it's all so simple what we want. What there has to be a force.
Was it Lauren Hill? It can all be so simple.
Like,
period. Real simple.
But even in our personal, you take it down to our personal relationships, it's so much trauma. It's simple. What do you want? He want to be happy and you want to be happy. That's not hard.
Let's fucking be happy.
But why?
But the
why?
thing about it is, like, I feel like somebody, like, in that sense, we feel like we have to go through that to get to the most simple shit. Like, you gotta go through the extra shit to get to, like, okay, at the end of the day,
to chip it all down.
Yeah.
To chip it all down. And that's the grand, like, God is a comedian. That's the grand joke of life.
Hilarious.
By the time you up in your 70s and 60s and you just happy to look at the sunrise, you just happy at that point to look at the sun. Grandma just get up, she sit on the porch. She just be on the porch.
Like, vibing, feeling good.
But she got it now.
Yeah.
It's because time, like, that's the thing about time. It adds importance to shit.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I ain't got much time left. So everything, it's like you squeezing the juice out the lemon. It's like now you really seeing it in perspective. Like, damn, I'm just happy I can see the sun. I can breathe.
Like, when people, black men especially, be like, oh, I live to see, what was that? If you live to see 25, you're
an OG.
I don't like that concept.
It's sick.
Like, it's
sick
fucked up.
It is.
But people really feel like I'm 25, like I'm an OG. No, like.
But ain't that fucked up how in our culture, even on some subliminal shit, just living to be 25 is like, oh, whew. Like, nigga, you feel like you crossed the finish. Like, ain't that a pitiful ass goal? That's we ain't even trying to live to see our age. It's like, damn, nigga, if I could just be 25, nigga.
Like, no.
It's like, damn.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
That's crazy.
I kind of want to flip it and then I'll go back towards the end because I want to get through everything, So I want to go to your brand and your clothing brand. What influenced the unique style of your clothing brand?
Shit, really go back to that Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay, remember the time
video.
Yeah.
Like, man, there was this nigga on YouTube named Kimbo Slice. Mike probably know this nigga. Nigga named Kimbo Slice.
I feel like I heard of his name.
He would just pull up and knock niggas the fuck out. So like, so once again, I look at these pictures of Jesus and shit. Like, when you really think about Jesus in the Bible, that nigga going in the churches, he flipping the tables over.
Powerful.
He hitting niggas with whips. I'm like, a Pharaoh probably look like nigga Kimbo Slice, nigga. Like, just a big nigga with a beard pulling up, knocking nigga. Like, that's how I always thought. So like, the Pharaoh logo really came from like my favorite little street boxer, Kimbo, just a regular ass Kimbo Slice.
I'm about to Google him.
Just a big cocky ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Mike over there nodding.
Yeah, you already know what I'm talking about. I said this is what a Pharaoh probably, not these little frail little white men. We got all these little history books.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it started as kind of like a joke. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd have Kimbo slice and I'd have like the little Pharaoh crown on him. He was just, like I said, a nigga who would just pull up in your backyard and they'd pay you. Just say you think you the tough guy in the neighborhood, you lifting weights. Kimbo slice come, you know, they
like
he just like a street promoter.
So he can knock out.
Can knock your ass out. If you can go a couple rounds with him, cool. Even if you get your ass knocked out, I think you get like $1,500, you know, just some shit like that.
Right.
Just a street brawler ass nigga.
That's wild.
That's really where it came from. And just like wanting to create something that I can see myself in. Because I just felt like so many times you open history books, we don't see ourselves. But we the authors and architects of so much. And, you know, a lot of these stories, the 10 Commandments and a lot of these biblical stories, they're in Africa. You know, they during our time period, but you don't see people that look like us sometimes, you know, in them situations and getting the roles. So I just kind of wanted to like create my own little, you know, just being a kid and being creative, just kind of create my own little world, you know, where it was just some Afrofuturism, some Black Panther shit.
Exactly.
Know? Just my own little Black Panther comic.
So I was going to ask you, is there some type of connection between the films, the music, the art, the clothing, or is it different in a sense?
It's so beautiful with like just being multifaceted, being able to like, it could be a simple message. Mm-hmm. Like the message could be the same, but the way you put that message in a film and get that, the ways it comes, like the music you choose for a scene, how you shoot the scene, the color tone for the scene, the actor you choose, the pacing of how you cut it. If you fade or you cut fast,
right?
All them things create emotions, evoke emotions, and put out a signal. Versus when you do a song and you putting, despite on how you trying to make the song, if you trying to make something very deep and lyrical for like a chosen, or maybe just a certain amount of people will be able to appreciate, are you trying to write that hit pop song,
right,
with that dope hook and that like that beat that you know everybody's gonna fuck with, and writing the lyrics that you know is gonna be something people gonna be able to repeat.
Yeah.
And put in their, you know, their statuses and shit like that. So
that's what it is. Or they captions.
You really, that is when you making your songs, like if you trying to make that hit song, it's like, I want this motherfucker to be a caption.
Yeah.
So just like
the punchline.
You could draw a painting and the same rules apply.
Yeah.
You put in the same image, maybe the imagery or the color or the gender of the person, all like you can look at it and it tells you a story.
Yeah.
Like I love the different dynamics between that. Like that feels that's so dope. And how there's rules to each one. Like there's certain shit, there's when you paint the picture, there's certain lines that ain't really supposed to be crossed.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is fun to cross them.
Right.
Same with a song. There's certain things you can say in a song. You can't tell a woman in a regular conversation. But in a song, it goes. Or in a movie, certain things that you couldn't put in your Facebook status, but you could make a movie scene about it.
Exactly.
You consider artistic, not weird. It's some crazy, sick ass movie scenes that when you really think about the director, like, damn, this nigga wrote that.
Right.
Like,
what's going on in his mind? Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
But in a certain setting, you can get that off, and that's artistic. It's not weird.
Yeah.
That you wrote a slasher scene with motherfuckers getting stabbed and you know
they naked and shit.
And they naked and shit weird.
Especially the Freddy Cougar, his freaky ass. Okay.
Man, all type of freaky. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little freak. I don't know whoever was the writer that his ass got.
But you can get that off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, why every time somebody gotta die having sex? Like, what's going on? Michael Myers. Always.
Yep.
All them I go back,
especially them little teenage
movies.
Them little teenage titty movies. That's what I call them. And they always slasher films and shit.
Yes. I got a few more questions. Mm-hmm. But how do you balance like all of these things in a sense, like, do you have seasons where you pay more attention to
That's
the
the
music?
only goddamn way.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
like I said, I'll be watching nature. So like,
Yeah.
just think there's summer, there's winter, there's fall, and there's spring. So you divide them 12 months up. That means the sun's he's chilling with these 3 constellations for 3 months out the year.
Yeah.
He chills with these 3 constellations for 3 months out the year. So it's fall. He chills with these 3. Now it's spring. He chills over here. Now it's winter. So like understanding like ain't no fucking way I can't be in every zodiac sign like the sun.
Yeah.
Can't be in every zodiac sign all 12 months of the year. I'm gonna be in certain places. I gotta give energy. I gotta shine on certain things.
Yeah.
And like, you don't plant seeds in the wintertime.
Exactly.
So knowing there's a season for things helps me not also be overwhelmed. And that just goes down to in the micro, we were talking about placing shit on certain days.
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying? Understanding the days were named for a certain reason. There's, you know what I mean? So just being, just understanding that and just being cognizant of everything going on around you and just kind of trying to swim with the tide as best you can in every aspect of life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, like I said, you don't plant seeds in the wintertime, but knowing that springtime is a good time to plant, going with the flow, you know your crop's going to have more success, you planting in the spring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just knowing even emotionally yourself, like, some people get seasonal depression. So that ain't.
Well, I used to. I
Same
overcame
here.
that shit. I overcame that shit in December. I was like, I'm not doing it this year. This year,
Yeah.
I'm making sure that I take my vitamin D because I do have vitamin D deficiency.
Yep.
So I'm making sure I take my vitamin D and I get myself out of there. That's why it was so important for me to start my podcast during this time, because I'm like, I don't want to be in that space that I was last year, even the few years behind. So what can I do to push myself to get out of that? So forcing myself to do this podcast is that.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Working through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So typically on every episode, I didn't on the last one, but I'm making sure that I make sure I remember. I give growth work instead of homework, growth work. I'm trying to think, what can I assign you to do? Shit, you're doing everything. Do you give yourself?
I can still, I probably need some days to rest. That's my damn.
Okay,
That's
so
what the
look,
fuck
because
my ass-
I'm going to give you what I gave
Sit my
Mike.
ass. Nigga,
Okay.
sit your ass. Damn.
I'm going to give you what I
Damn.
gave Mike, and I want you to check in with me. I want you to tell me, Raven, this is working, or hell no, Raven, I haven't. And I'm going to check on you the first couple of days. Other than I'm going to let you go. But the growth work that I want you to do is to have an hour to yourself a day. Whatever that looks like. Like, shut your phones off.
Yeah.
Don't answer no calls. Take no social media, no working, no nothing. Rest your brain for an hour a day. And I'm going to check on you.
I can do it.
Okay.
I need it.
Mike, have you been doing it? Okay. Nah, he lied.
This nigga done looked away.
Right.
Nigga didn't want to make eye contact.
And then this is the final question. And you can think about it. I already know my answer. So if you got yours, most definitely say it. But in what ways has our conversation inspired your personal growth or influenced your future development?
In every way. Like, it's always good to say things out loud.
Yeah.
Put something you can actually, like we talked about, just putting a name on things. It's like therapy. I love these type of interviews with certain people. You know what I mean? They are definitely like therapy. Like, I just realized I need to sit my ass down and rest. That's something I need to do.
Yeah.
Just to revitalize my mind, give myself some energy, make sure I'm thinking clearly, because I got a lot on my plate.
Exactly.
So just being able to decipher and be able to make good decision-making skills on the fly is something I need to do, and that comes from just being well-rested, revitalizing myself. So,
well, I do want to say way to grow, because that's what this podcast is about, is growing. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what are some things that has helped us in there. So knowing that, giving you that growth work and being able to talk about it is definitely a plus.
yes.
I would say for me, my growth work, something that influenced me was you saying how, one, to be understanding, like, I know that there's other people like me, but to actually sit
Mhm.
down and to talk to someone who has ADHD, who gets
Man, we all need a
overstimulated and
community.
all of that.
Yeah.
So to have someone like that, and then you tell me what works out best for you, and to hear that, like, okay, on Mondays I do this, and then Tuesdays is go time.
You ain't got to worry
love
about
that shit.
You ain't got to be out think about worrying about certain shit, because it's like that's not even on the agenda today.
Yeah.
That's for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
I love
gotta
that.
feel
I love that.
overwhelmed. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm choosing not to be overwhelmed.
So you make sure you check in with me. Like, Ray, you been doing
Bet.
your growth work?
I got you.
Okay, period.
Real talk.
Where can we follow you if they want to reach out to you for music, art, apparel, like everything?
AG the Pharaoh 317 on Instagram. Hit me up.
So
I'm not
I was saying it
Hollywood.
wrong.
What?
I said Pharaoh. You say Pharaoh.
That's just my little country twang.
Oh, okay. I'm
Nah,
like, is
you
it
wrong.
Faye or Fair? Okay, I need to know.
I'm just country. That's all. Nah, you
the
got it.
Pharaoh.
Yep.
All right. Well, that is all that I have for you today. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Growing with Ravy. AG, I truly appreciate
Dang,
you.
most
This was a
definitely.
fire-ass conversation.
Dope.
I think you probably did top my last one.
I'm
feel me?
happy.
You
I'm
feel
happy.
me? All right,
That's the
thank you.
goal.
Thank you, guys.